we are super, super stoked to talk about inflation because we're broke and we give a shit about purchasing power of a dollar. No, we don't. But I'm mad because the chicken nuggets are smaller. To be honest, like they cost more and there's less of them.
Yeah. I think overall, I'm just upset because there's so many things going on in the store that are like disorientating. And one of them is like prices are higher, of course. The size of things is smaller. The stores are switching around so many things and getting new product in. And I'm like, why don't you focus on working with the product you have and making it more available for people?
Right. And I think some people are finally addressing that because on Monday, Target slashed prices on more than 1,500 items ranging from laundry detergent to cat food to sunscreen and thousands more on the way to be cut. And they said that they're doing this to get customers back in the store because people have less money. They're spending, less of it because obviously you want to save it. And we all know we're getting ripped off. It's a scam. Everywhere you're looking lately is a scam. Mm-hmm. And it sucks.
Here's the thing. I think it might help a little bit, but people are hurting so much right now that they're not buying anything but the essentials and they're waiting till the last possible moment to re-up on stuff.
True.
Like, we're making things stretch a little bit more. Like, we can wait another 2 days to go to a grocery store, or maybe we'll switch the protein this week so we're not like spending so much because meat's expensive, protein's expensive, not even just like meat, but like everything is expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I get what they're doing. Like that's great. Some people that have those essentials or laundry detergent, like it'll help, but it's not gonna push too much, Yeah,
it looks like Aldi and IKEA are also kind of jumping into the mix. Here's a quote from Preston Caldwell, the senior U.S. economist at the Morningstar Research Services, says, quote, it's going to be helpful talking about the slashing of prices, but we're still going to have to see housing inflation come down, which is an issue. Wage growth seems to normalize. Yada. It's just, this was, I thought, an interesting kind of article because this is the title. Walmart and Target are slashing prices, but what does that mean for inflation? It means absolutely nothing for inflation.
Absolutely nothing.
That's going to keep going up and our dollars are going to keep getting like devalued. But I guess what I want to see is I wouldn't even be pissed because as time progresses, right? It's like, yeah, things are going to be more expensive. That's kind of the deal, right? When you buy a house, like ideally it grows in value, right? Like, that going into it. This is like the social contract, I guess. But what does it mean for inflation? How about shrinkflation? Because I'm still mad about my chicken nuggets. I wouldn't mind paying more if I got more. Like if the things got better, right? Yeah. Like a chicken nugget's not my house.
If they were like, oh, we did a value pack where you get a little more and you spend a little more. You know what I mean? Like, or if they were bigger in size or like weight per chicken nugget, you'd want to spend money on them.
Yeah, but it's not. They've taken the meat away. And I have more to show you, actually.
Well, you saw my pickles. That my jar of pickles, granted, they are like the little pickles are called baby dills.
Yeah.
Right? But you saw how small that was?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when it was a brand new jar. When I opened it, it was like there was a space at the top.
Yep. So here's a picture that is Wall Street Silver, which is kind of like a Wall Street Bets kind of guy. While they're kind of cringy, they do give a shit about consumers. You know what I mean? They don't like being ripped off. And they like notifying people that there's scams going on. So I always appreciate that. But here he is. He's saying, look, this one says it's 198 grams. And he puts it on his scale. It's 150. That's with the fucking wrapping on it. Isn't that insane? That's with the wrapping, bro. That's not the ounces that should be included. Remember how I'm such a stickler when we go to
price per ounce.
Price per ounce is so important to me because it's like that's where you're going to find the value for your buck. And now all of a sudden they're pricing in the freaking container. Are you serious, dude? No way, man. And microplastics are on the balls. Have you heard about that? Sorry, that was a side note.
No idea. Here's the thing too, though. It's probably the actual product inside is probably less than 150 because you have to tear out the container.
Yeah, it's uncalled for. This is not cool, man. And this is the world that we're living in 2024, dude. We can watch this clip. So here's Elizabeth Warren. Corporate profits rose 5 times faster than inflation from 2020 to 2022. And that's obvious because of COVID. We get that. But the prices wasn't enough for giant corporations. Now they're shrinking products too, to pad profits. So they have to put in less of their capital, right? And they're laying off a bunch of people, right? To save money, giving us less and charging us more.
Yeah.
What?
It's really bad. I mean, here's the thing too, is like like I said, people are now opting out of things and now they're feeling it. Because it's not just a couple people. Now it's like the majority of people will opt out of that specialty product because they're like, I'll do it next month and my next grocery bill. So they're not spending as much.
Yep.
And so they just shot themselves in the foot. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, greedy.
Right. And then it's pushing them to even worse circumstances. The companies, right? I'm not company cuck at all, but like they're now doing worse stuff to pad their pockets, right? It's all annoying. Here's a short little TikTok. I love this, man. So this is bacon, 12 ounces of bacon, allegedly 12 ounces of bacon. It's probably not 12 ounces of bacon. Into the wrapper, not even tearing it either. You know what I mean? 7.9 ounces of bacon compared to 12 ounces of bacon.
And it's probably like 7.5 because of the wrapping.
Dude, what happened to companies doing false advertisement being illegal? It wasn't that a thing that we fought for?
Only if it endangered the public.
It's endangering our morale. Morale is freaking low, dude. I haven't seen Civil War yet, but I bet it's about bacon. I bet it's about shrinkflation.
It's bad. I mean, and here's the thing. People, it's messed up because the companies are like, well, don't buy it then. They're like, we'll eat that. We'll continue to eat it, but eventually you're going to need it. So we're going to do whatever we want and continue to do whatever we want until somebody tells us differently or forces us, actually, not tells us, but forces us to do something.
I think you're right. And until then, it's going to take us bitching and moaning about it. And again, no one's here to fucking cancel companies, but at the same time, like, don't you want to go to companies that don't rip you off, right? That don't swindle you out of your hard-earned money that is worth less? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that a thing that we should all be considering here? And Axios came out with this article that I think more articles need to come out like this, where price increases take a bite out of companies' reputation. And I really hope this article talks about shrinkflation because I hadn't read the whole thing. So record prices have increased on everything that we buy, from the labor cost it takes to do it to the actual product at the end of the day, shipping it to the retail place, right? Everything in between. It's all costing more. And no one's arguing that. We get that. Why is it less? Why are the goods less then? I don't know. So trust scores. So people's trust in companies has fallen 3.8% for clothing companies, 3.2% for quick service restaurant, 2.9% for big box stores, and 2.2 points of the trust score has shaved off for grocery stores. Because again, shrinkflation, price increases, and the sales aren't really sales.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's not only that the sales aren't even sales. It's like the sales aren't worth it. I'll just buy it at a regular price. I'll wait till I need it. It's fine.
Yup.
Save my $5 now. Thank you.
Right. And we already talked about Target slashing the prices, which is great. I like Target. You know what I mean? I do like Target. It's one of those places where you get the cart and it feels good to push the cart and it doesn't feel like your cart's having a seizure at all times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
They do have nice carts.
Yep. And so we did mention, I think it was IKEA and Aldi that were jumping on the bandwagon. McDonald's also is jumping on the bandwagon. Guess what? They're bringing back the $5 value. So McDonald's is reintroducing a $5 value meal, which you can appreciate because, you know, I don't know. I like that. And then, okay, so before, we're going to get pushback, by the way, right? It's like, well, companies can't just give you unlimited amount. You just mentioned all of the cost increase, right? Yeah, I know. You can look at Red Lobster, right? They're out of business now, probably because of the unlimited, all you can eat shrimp. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
That's a case study that people are going to point to and be like, well, this is why they can't give customers what they've always had before. This is why it's changing.
Well,
they can't keep up.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We're not saying do it indefinitely. What we're saying is give it a rest. You know what I mean? Like just for a little bit. They lower their prices. Yeah. Let's say for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. They're like the people that are investing in the companies is going to increase significantly. They're going to get more people buying. Sure. And then once the people feel better because they've saved a little more, they'll continue to buy the product when it increases again.
Sure. I would agree. I think, again, you're going to sentiment. It's like we have lost, and I'm not a traditionalist, you know what I mean? Like whatever, but we have lost that like customer doesn't have to be right, but like you want the customer to come back.
Yeah, there's like we've lost no loyalty.
That.
No,
yeah, there's no loyalty.
No loyalty in grocers. I'm gonna go what's best for my family. I'm not gonna say loyal because I like them. They always treated me right.
Like I remember in Sacramento growing up, I knew my bag boy. You know what I mean? Like there was a bag boy we knew. My grandma would like, no, we're getting into this line because Greg's
right.
No, he's gonna help me into my car too. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
That shit's gone. That's gone.
I feel the same
It's
way.
not coming back. No, I don't think it's
No.
going to be coming back.
I know. I feel the same way. Like I used to be like Ralph's is my go-to. Ralph,
Yep,
I can get a better deal at Ralph's. I can be more helpful. Things are better there.
I agree.
And then they changed everything from the store to the people to how like the prices look, the kinds of coupons they give out. And I'm like, I'm going to go where it's cheaper. I'm not getting this item there. I'm not going to spend those $25 there. I'm going to go somewhere else.
I would agree. I think this is totally right. I'm going to refill my, and then I want to talk about this. So this is what I think, if I understood the article right, these are the corporate goons that want us to believe everything is okay and this is the way it's supposed to be. And inflation and shrinkflation is just a natural progression for society. And we're going to have to get used to that. And we can thank News Nation for this article that we're going to talk about in a second.
Oh, mommy's back. Good boy. Good helper. That's a good helper.
Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. We'll try to chew on it. So here are the key points. Economists have found that price markups have stayed relatively flat overall, allegedly. Corporate profits are up, and pricing doesn't tell the whole story. President Biden has continued to blame inflation on corporate greed. And again, I feel like right? You could do like a lot of things to qualm inflation rising. You could do a lot of things to slow it down. You can do a lot of things to speed it up when needed. But I don't think it's all corporations causing inflation. It's definitely like our government causing inflation. I think what we should be targeting companies for is shrinkflation. And I'll die on this hill. I don't even care that it costs more. I care that it's less shit.
I understand that there's like multiple parts at play, but I will put a pressure on the companies because the companies are the ones that are going to put pressure on the government. The government's not going to listen to us. But if we put pressure on the government to help it out and stabilize it.
That's true.
So I'm not.
So you're pushing for big government. What do you call me?
I'm pushing for them to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't tell me there's 12 ounces of bacon. 7. That's fucked up, dude.
And then the store brand costs the same as the regular like brand.
Because if this is the case, then what's happening with the nutritional facts, right? If this is based off of ounces, like what are people putting in their bodies? Back to the microplastics being in your ball sacks. Listen, it's happening all around us. What are they doing to us as the consumer?
I don't know.
It's just not cool.
I mean, I just like, and then we wonder why people aren't healthier. Well, healthy food costs a lot sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They're going to buy that cheaper item because that's all they have. And it's better to have a full belly than nothing at all, you know?
That's true. I remember doing a video on greedflation for my last job, actually. And like, I remember being some pushback in the comments about it. And I stand by that. And that was like 2022 early. So again, here's a quote from economists conducting research on inflation, right? Here's a quote. Overall, our analysts suggest that fluctuations in markups were not the main driver of post-pandemic surge inflation, nor the recent deflation that started in mid-2022. So inflation is easing. So why aren't prices back to where they were? If you look at inflation, I think at the peak it was like 9.5% inflation. That was the rate in which prices kept going up, right? Now I think it's at, I'll find it in post, but I think it's like 3%. Hey, look at that, dude. After peaking at 9.1, I just found it. After peaking at 9.1 in June, annual inflation has slowed to 3.4. Once the rapid cooldown has plateaued. So it went down and it hasn't started to go down anymore, but it hasn't started to increase at all either. The rate of inflation, the rate of prices going up around us.
But it's still increasing at that rate from the previous price.
Right. This is why now we're not looking at inflation. We're looking at shrinkflation.
Yeah.
Products that are being downsized, right, without the price is being downsized. So we still experience prices going up, but we still experience the value of what we're given going down. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It
just feels as though they're not giving us time to breathe. We can accept the higher prices if we still got the same amount. But the fact that they are shrinking our products and making them smaller, the amount that you're getting, we're like, oh, hell no. You're raising our prices and you're taking away some of the product. Like, no, we can't stand for this.
I changed my mind. Companies are causing inflation. I take it all back because they're making us pay more, even though our shit, because of inflation, is not high. We're not seeing that in any sort of like meaningful place at all, whether it be your job, right? The income you get from your job, whatever you're doing.
Communities, help.
Yeah. Like, exactly, right? Health costs are going up too. Like all of that is continuing to go up. Quote from Mr. Biden, okay, our says, too many corporations raise prices to pad their profits, charging more and more for less and less. And this is what he said in his most recent State of the Union.
So what are you going to do about it?
Oh, absolutely not.
You're just yapping over here. I don't want to hear your
Bitches
yap.
love to yap.
Yeah, do something about it. Feels so condescending when these politicians and presidents point out something we already know.
Yeah, like they're on the ground floor of it, right? Oh, dude, you would have never guessed what Biden found out at Target the other day. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's
What
like,
do we got
yes,
here?
and
There's no good vibes here. Honestly, buy in bulk if you can. This is going to be our call to action. What's your takeaway from this?
yeah. So
Coupon,
I was
baby.
gonna. I was gonna say, look, it all seems very like stressful. And we're also saying things that you probably know or you're probably felt already. And I think it's important to like, what can you do about it, right?
Coupon.
Yeah.
You can coupon.
Please
Buy with
get-
your friends. Buy in bulk.
Buy in bulk, split with your friends, right?
Get friends, losers.
Also, go to apps like the apps that your grocery stores on your phone. They provide a lot of coupons. They give you deals on your regular items. Let's say you're always buying 2 loaves of bread every time you go to the grocery store. Chances are you'll get a coupon for spend $20, get a free loaf of bread. Listen, I know it's not a lot, but at the end of the day, at the end of the month, when you spend your groceries, you can save a week's worth of groceries. That's a lot of money considering over time, right?
Yeah.
Or you just get coupons on items you essentially need.
Yeah.
Things like eggs and milk and all that stuff. So
Totally. I see you go grocery shopping all the time. She was in the middle of a fucking aisle, okay, and look at her phone to find a coupon for it. But I'm not even kidding. Like, we'll spend about $300 on groceries for maybe like a little over half a month, maybe more, right?
I think, almost like 3 to 4 weeks.
It staggers. But here's my point. It'll be like $300 and all of a sudden it's like minus 49.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Minus $49 at the checkout. So like she is saving on average like, $50 per 150 per $200, $300 spent. And those are unadvertised coupons.
They are.
And this
They
is in
are.
California, baby. And if you live
Yeah.
outside of California, you could be, this sucks though, because I'm telling you, put in more work, sweaty, right?
Yeah,
Go
it does
coupon.
suck. It does
Work
suck.
harder to get less because everything you buy is going to contain less. Think back to the bacon, dude. 12 ounces is actually 7.9 ounces, and that includes the wrapper. So, you're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to think smarter to get less shit. And that's just where we're at in 2024. And it sucks. It sucks.
Say this too, if you're not one of those people where you feel uncomfortable asking about deals in store, these apps are a really good resource because a lot of the coupons apply for pickup orders.
Mm-hmm.
They're tied to your number at checkout, so you don't even have to ask or talk to anybody or stress about like, I've never done this before. Will this
Introverts
coupon
rejoice.
Yeah. When you're on the couch, scroll for 15 minutes through the coupons. You can search like products that you like by name.
Scroll through coupons, not TikTok. Fucking idiots.
Spend
some
10,
friends.
15 minutes. I'm telling you,
Okay.
the first time you save $50,
I'm kidding.
you're going to feel like, whoa.
Dude, I'm just bitter. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is more work. It is more work. But listen, I am scrounging and saving and trying to save us where we can because food is important. I'd rather spend that $50 on more food.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have any questions about that, what maybe her couponing or something, drop them in the comments. I don't know. It's been a while since we made contact on the React Lord pad, but we're going to do better. We're going to make content outside of our podcast and maybe try to chew on stories like this every now and then and post it. So I don't know. This is irking me.
Yeah. Listen, it's
Shrinkflation
hard, guys.
sucks, dude.
It is.
But yeah, I think that's all we got today. So until next time, I'm V.
I'm Nikki.
And we're the hell out of here. Bye.
Bye.